Biden is elected. I'm sorry, I don't know why my stuff's making noise and clicking and stuff. I'm sorry. Sorry, my fire extinguisher mount thing was moving. I want to talk about after Joe Biden is elected, what should happen, what will change, what will change in the future. For one thing, America is no longer a leader in public health. Period. I think Donald Trump, he doesn't care about long term. He doesn't care like how people see the world and all that, and that's fine. I get it, whatever. But I think that from here on out, the world won't forget Donald Trump, and they won't forget the fact that America elected him, and they won't forget the fact that there actually was if there's anything less than a landslide, they won't forget this. The amount of enemies Trump has made. I think a lot of European world leaders liked Obama, liked maybe George Bush. I'm just saying. And I think that when Trump came out and said, I'm one of the best presidents, ain't no better than you, I think that pissed people off. I mean, it was a joke. It's a joke because Trump is a joke. I'm not taking it seriously. You shouldn't either. But I think that when you do stuff like that, it's hard to be taken seriously. That's where I'm going with this. So I think that, first of all, I know 2020 is simply the year the bill came due. That's how I look at it. Ain't none of this damn end of the world. The world's coming to an end. Oh, Jesus coming back. We're all gonna die. Fire and brimstone. All the no, I don't buy that shit. But what I do believe is we're living in the world that doctors and scientists warned us about. They warned us about it. They warned us about climate change back in the 90s. We didn't listen. They warned us about much of this stuff. And we're facing it. We're facing it. I mean, we just happen to have Donald Trump at the helm, but we're already heading this way. It's just that the reaction to it is messed up. There's a shooting or something, and the police get obstructed. The shooting's bad enough, but the response is obstructed. That's Donald Trump. I don't put it all on him, and I make that point clear. I think that America will never again be a leader of public health. I think that the world won't trust America after this. I'm sorry. I know Trump doesn't care. I know that Trump's auxiliaries and his reactionary bigots, they don't care. I get it. And that's the other part of it, is that they won't even recognize it. You know what I mean? It's like if I had some money in a bank account and I forgot about it and the bank account closed up, I lose the money. If I'm not aware of it, I'm not going to care. Americans won't care. Trump supporters won't care. But I think that's one of the biggest things about Trump. After, whether he wins or loses, nobody will ever trust America again. Because we're too divided. How can America lead the world when we've got a governor that was almost abducted by Trump auxiliaries, and Trump's out there joking about it, calling her a dictator? I mean, sometimes you have to just stop and pause and recognize just how far Trump is really taking the country to the right. Stuff like that it's a mile marker. It's definitely a marker on this path to fascism that we're all walking down. We're just leisurely, casually down the path. I mean, everything about it, creating his own channel, news channel, OAN, him attacking the media, attacking racial bias training. I mean, and it really, when they talk about the protests, and I hear people what's that black lady on Fox News talking about we need to have peace. I think the fact that Donald Trump did that, it kind of is why would we have peace? We've got a president who's not only not willing to acknowledge the seriousness of police brutality and corruption, but he's also at the same time saying, you know what, we're going to get rid of racial training, stuff like this, it's inflammatory. And I talk often about how we're conservatives They need the culture war. They need this. They're trying to make the kids gay. The gay people are walking around, and the blacks, they're, Mexicans are taking our. They need that. They need white people to constantly be angry and scared that they're gonna lose their place in society, and that issue is more important than climate change. That issue of white people feeling like they're losing ground is more important than climate change, or more important than the reality of pandemics, or the reality of disease control. Like that is the conservative tactic now. And I think that what I'm saying is, like, after Trump is gone, this won't be over with. You know what I mean? This will live on. This know nothing, arrogant, jingoistic American bullshit. Like, this is what Trump, this is the egg that he's laid. And that's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere, guys. It's not. We shouldn't expect it to. It's not going anywhere. So that's the biggest thing to me, is that also we're going to go to war with China pretty soon. And one thing that gets me by conservatives is, I had somebody comment on my videos that Trump's going to end the wars. Well, he hasn't done that. That hasn't happened. And even if he did, when they say bring the troops home, they meant demobilize and make the military smaller. If Trump ended Iraq, he would just send the troops somewhere else. That's why I tell liberals, like, if you don't like Trump, that's fine. But how has Trump deviated from American foreign policy over the last 20 years? He has not. Now, we talk about the generals. We give generals more than they ask for. I don't buy that bullshit he talks. But he's no different, is what I'm saying. And so if you're angry about what Trump is doing overseas, be angry about what's been going on for the last 20 years. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's all. So my hope is that when we do go to war with China, the rest of the world doesn't go in with us. Maybe they'll use Israel and Saudi Arabia. I don't know. But my hope is that America will go this one alone. I just realized that I live in an empire, and I'm living and working among people who are fine with that. Like, when people overseas joke about America being an empire, that's not that far off the mark. We're not an empire, but we're doing some of the same things empires have done. 300 bases all over the world, multilateral action and stuff like this. This is imperial stuff. So my hope is America no longer is respected or trusted in public health. My hope is that the world does not follow America down the path to a war with China. That's a big one. Or Iran. That's a big one. I hope that the rest of the world recognizes that America is like falling, that this is all like falling empire stuff. That America is a post-fax era. We're in a post-fax era where facts don't matter. Like, that's where America is right now, And so my thing is, like, don't trust us. I've said it before. Don't follow us. America's going for a very grave end, and it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be bad. But America has no business telling anybody how to live, or what democracy is, because we don't have those things. This is not a rational state by any means. We're not operating in a rational manner. We're not even treating our own citizens in a rational manner. So we don't have any business telling anybody overseas anything. Period. I'll make that very clear and very concise to you. I think the rest of the world won't trust America. And sometimes I think people want to believe in America being good. Yeah, but the rest of the world, they know, and I thought we knew, that we were going to face like climate change and things like that. And so it's like, okay, America can use their military to like move supplies, humanitarian, right? And we can use our, military equipment to like, move a vaccine. Just the logistics. I think the world looked at America as like yeah, they're a war empire, but they do a lot of good too. And with Trump, it's like, no, they don't. No, America does a lot of ugliness, a lot of ugly shit, and I that's my hope. I'm sorry. That's my hope. That's my prayer, is that Joe Biden doesn't get in there, because I just realized that the idea that we're gonna get people to understand how dangerous this stuff is, it's not gonna happen. Even if Joe Biden gets elected, that to me doesn't say anything about America becoming more progressive. I recognize that, like, America's like a junkie. We're hooked on war. That's just what it is. You're not gonna fix it. You're not gonna solve it, and the rest of the world's gotta have to leave America alone. That's it. So I mean, we've talked about soft power. I think that public health was was one of their soft powers, but I think it was a soft. I think it was trusted. I think it was, but I recognize that with Trump, this shows you that we don't value science anymore. We don't. You know what I mean? Like we don't. If it does not fit this carbon, heavily carbon-driven economy and consumerism and white supremacy, we don't want to hear it. We don't we don't. We're not like, tell the truth, may the heavens fall. Like, that's not what America is. Maybe it never was that, but that's not what America is anymore. And nobody should be fooled into thinking that it is.